Hey taxpayers, it's Tiffany Gonzalez CPA here, founder and CEO of Accounting to Scale. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we're talking about scams. Not just any scams, IRS scams. The ones that have to do with your refunds, finances, and identity theft. So stay tuned, we're going to talk about the Dirty Dozen IRS scams. The first scam is phishing. The IRS does not email taxpayers. So if you receive an email from what looks to be like it's from the IRS, delete it immediately. Don't click any links, don't forward it, and don't reply. Next is fake charities. Criminals often exploit natural disasters, including the current pandemic, COVID-19. If you receive any kind of text message, email, or phone call asking you to donate to a charity, that charity should be able to share with you its employer identification number, EIN, in order for you to verify that it is a true charity on the IRS website. Third, threatening, impersonating IRS phone calls. IRS misrepresentation comes in many ways, and one of the most frequent ones these days is via a threatening phone call. So it plays out like this. Someone will call you claiming to be an IRS agent, saying you owe significant amounts of money and need to make a payment right now. Ignore these calls. They are robocalls, scam calls, spam calls. Hang up on them immediately. Next is social media scams. You share information on social media. Criminals use that information against you as ammunition to try to find your weaknesses. Sometimes scammers will pose as your family, friends, or coworkers. Number 5 is refund theft. This is where a scammer might create a bogus tax return using your social security number, file it, and attempt to divert the refund to their bank account. This is currently happening with economic impact payments as well, so be very careful with your social security number. 6 is senior fraud. Seniors and older Americans and those who take care of them need to be on alert for these types of IRS scams targeted at our senior community. They are the ones likely to be victimized. So please, if you care for a senior or are a senior yourself, please be on the alert for these types of IRS scams. 7, scams targeting non-English speakers. This is another group of taxpayers that are frequently scammed, and they are the most vulnerable. They receive fake calls, fake emails from the IRS where they are threatened deportation. The IRS will never call you and threaten deportation, so be sure to hang up on weird or fake calls such as these. 8, fraudulent tax return preparers. These really upset me. Let's be clear. Most tax return preparers provide an honest and high-quality service, but dishonest tax return preparers pop up every tax return season. These dishonest tax return preparers commit fraud, harm innocent taxpayers, or influence taxpayers into doing illegal things that they regret later. Taxpayers should avoid ghost preparers. Ghost preparers are people who will prepare your tax return but will not sign the tax return. You should be on the lookout for this by looking at the bottom of your tax return and making sure that your tax preparer's information and PTIN information is listed. Anyone who is paid to prepare tax returns must provide their information in the paid tax preparer section of your tax return. Never sign a blank tax return. Many of these fraudulent tax return preparers will promise super high refunds, and they do this by creating fake tax credits, such as education credits or earned income tax credits, where they might not be applicable to the taxpayer. Years later, the taxpayer might receive a tax notice requiring them to pay back that tax refund. And this fraudulent tax return preparer, he's nowhere to be found. So, avoid tax return preparers that ask you to sign a blank tax return, that promise a high refund without even looking at your documents. or that charge a fee based on a percentage of your refund. Ultimately, as a taxpayer, you are responsible for the accuracy of your tax return. So it's important that you pick a tax return preparer that is a licensed professional. Number 9, offer in compromise mills. So let's say you owe a lot of tax debt. You've heard the commercials. Companies can help you resolve, lower, or eliminate that tax debt. You need to be very careful with these types of companies. Offer in compromise is an application made to the IRS to try to settle or resolve or eliminate the tax debt owed. It is very different from a payment plan. You are essentially asking the IRS to forgive the debt you owe based on a set of circumstances. Unethical companies oversell this program to unqualified candidates at a very hefty fee, and many times these candidates are already struggling with so much debt. Although the OIC program does exist and helps thousands of taxpayers every year, very few people qualify. In fact, in 2019, the IRS received 54,000 OIC applications and only approved 18,000 of them. If you are considering doing an OIC application, I recommend you go to the IRS website and use their free Offer in Compromise tool to see if you qualify first. 10. Fake payments with repayment demands. Here's how this one works. A con artist will use your social security number to file a bogus tax return. They'll claim fake credits to get you a really high refund. Once they've done that, they'll then attempt to call you as the IRS and demand repayment of that refund. Sometimes they'll ask you to pay it via gift cards by going to a store and purchasing gift cards and then mailing or sending the gift card information. If you receive a refund into your bank account that you have no idea what it's about or where it's from, call the IRS immediately. Speak to your banking institution. Do not return or send any money to anyone via gift cards. 11. Payroll and HR scams. Tax professionals, employers, and taxpayers need to be wary of those requesting W-2 information via email. There are so many phishing attacks related to stealing W-2 and payroll information. 12. Ransomware. This is a form of malware that gets inadvertently downloaded onto your computer and then tracks all of your keystrokes on your computer. The criminal might take some of your information hostage and then ransom that back to you. And that sums up the IRS's Dirty Dozen Scams. We hope this video helps you avoid a scam in the future. To stay up to date with all of the information we're putting out, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook at Accounting to Scale. Until the next video, your favorite CPA, Tiffany Gonzalez.